Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danya if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to be using my Cricut to work on some really fun fall crafts. The weather is slowly changing where I live, which means it's time to craft for fall. So let's get started. I'm going to set this cup aside for a couple minutes. I'll work on that second, but first I want to work on a tote bag, and I'm going to be using the print then cut method. So I'm going to use printable heat transfer vinyl for this. I'll take you over to my computer first. We'll quickly work on the design and then I'll meet you back here. All right, for the tote bag design, I'm gonna head over to Kittl to work on it. Now, if you're not familiar with this, Kittl is a platform that basically has everything in one place. All kinds of fonts, mock-ups, designs, pre-made templates, anything you can imagine. Now, I'm gonna type in ghost t-shirt in the search bar. Even though I'm adding the design to a tote bag, I wanted to see the templates and the ready-made designs that they had. Don't limit yourself when you're looking for designs. So for example, even though this was going on a tote bag, I still wanted to look under the t-shirt category because I knew there were going to be so many options to choose from and work with. Now, after scrolling through so many templates, I end up choosing this one because I loved the colors and I thought the ghost was absolutely adorable. Now, my favorite thing about Kittl is being able to customize the design. So I don't necessarily have to use it as is because to me it was a little busy and I wanted to remove some of the flowers and the design elements in the background. Look at the right side where they have every single color from the design. They have the number in case you ever need to reference it or if you want it for a different project. I just loved all the customization and all the details that they have on here. You can also edit the words. I liked them as is, so I didn't do anything, but I just wanted to show you that you have that option. And now I'm just gonna start removing some of the elements that I didn't want. Each one is a vector, which basically means I could have completely stretched the design, made it thinner, wider. I can completely edit any piece of it that I want. Okay, now I'm gonna speed it up a little bit so that you don't have to sit through all of my indecisiveness and me overthinking exactly which flower I want and what to do with the ghost. But I did want to point out that I decided to put a daisy in her hair. Let's pretend that's her hair because I thought that would look absolutely adorable. And then I also end up adding a second artboard with just the ghost on its own because I wanted to put the ghost on the back of the tote bag without any of the words or the flowers. I just thought that would look really nice. All right, now that both of them are ready, I'm gonna download the design after making sure the resolution is as high as I want it to be and the remove background option is checked. And then all I need to do is upload it into Cricut Design Space. I'll have all the details in the description box if you want to try Kittl today for free. All right, I lifted this up to double check and it looks like it cut beautifully. So let me move this off of the mat. And I'm just gonna remove, or I guess it's fine, I can leave the washi tape. I was gonna say I'm gonna remove the washi tape first, but it doesn't matter, we can just weed this out. And I'm so happy that it cut really, really nicely. I made sure to calibrate my machine just so that, you know, it doesn't decide to mess up the design. And I tried to calibrate almost every time I have a print then cut project. Actually, I should say I've been doing this recently where I calibrate right before a project because I tried to be sneaky last time and I didn't calibrate and it kind of messed up one of the designs. So I didn't want to risk it and I calibrated my machine and it only took like 5 minutes, I think. So it's definitely worth, you know, doing that first and then starting on your project. This design turned out so cute. I love how clear the colors are. I'm really, really happy with the results. I hope it looks nice on the tote bag. Oh my gosh, and these tiny ones, I'm really glad I decided to put the daisy on top here. I feel like that just made the ghost even cuter. Okay, just making sure I weed all the teeny tiny pieces before I bring in the mask, which is going to pick up the design and help me place it on the tote bag. And it's the same concept as transfer paper. When you're using permanent vinyl, it helps you pick up the design and put it on the, for example, cup or tumbler when you're working with regular adhesive vinyl. And when you're working with heat transfer vinyl, especially with a design with a lot of small pieces, you need some type of mask to help you pick it up. Okay, that looks perfect. Oh my gosh, wonderful. Let me grab the mask. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, they do include some in the printable heat transfer vinyl package. They call it heat transfer paper, but they also have it sold separately if you need more. So just keep that in mind. And I'll have everything linked in the description box if you want to check it out. Uh-oh, we're about to lose a sparkle. I'm not sure where that one belongs, but let me just move it for now. You know what? You're gonna go off to the side until I am ready. All right, I'm just going to slowly place it down, and then I'm going to use the scraper tool to make sure it completely transfers. And I could have absolutely used a small piece right here and then transferred it onto the tote bag and then used the same mask, so this piece, again on this one, but it was just easier for me to lay it all down at the same time. And this mask is reusable. So after I remove this, let me just show you. After I remove this and place it on the tote bag, I can still save this piece. And I'll show you once I press the design how it looks. So now I just need to peel this off because we don't need this anymore. Now for today's project, I'm going to be using this part for one side of the tote bag and then this for the other side. So I could have just saved this and kept it on the paper itself, but I'm going to be using it within the next few days, so it's fine that it transferred. But just to let you know, if you're going to cut something, print something and cut it and not use it right away, you can always just leave it on here and then transfer it when you're ready. Let me show you the tote bag before we go downstairs. So this is the bag I'm using. The design is gonna go right here, and then one ghost is gonna go on the other side. And I'm thinking either right on the top over here or in the middle. I don't know, we'll see once I get down there and I start, arranging the design, like what I decide on the spot. So let's go downstairs, we'll place the design, and then I'll meet you back up here. This is how the tote bag turned out. I love the colors. I love the design. Just perfect. And then this is the back. So cute, don't you think? I can't wait to place the second one on a t-shirt for my daughter. It's just gonna look adorable. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next thing I want to work on is this cup. I really want to decorate a cup for pumpkin spice season. And honestly, for me, I'm obsessed with coffee. It doesn't matter if it's cold or hot. I love all kinds of coffee. And I've been loving these cups with the bamboo lids lately. So I'm gonna be working on this one. And I'm just gonna prep the surface by adding some rubbing alcohol. And then we can weed out the design while this dries. Okay, all right, so for the cup design, I'm actually gonna use this textured gold, and This is kind of funny. So remember last video when I was complaining about how hard the textured gold is to weed, and how I'm always complaining about how I love how it looks, but it's hard to weed and, you know, transfer onto surfaces because it doesn't always hold on to transfer tape. And I literally said in that video, I wonder if Tech Wrap has the same type of vinyl, because I would happily test that out. Well, they do. This is Tech Wrap. So I'm so excited to be testing this out today, because if you have seen any of my videos, you know how much I love the color and texture, but how much I disliked working with the other kind, which was not Tech Wrap. So this is new to me. This is my first time ever working with this vinyl, and I can already tell it is so much easier to work with. I'm really excited about this. And it's identical. Let me bring in the other one. Once I'm done weeding, I'll bring in the Cricut brand. So I just did some pumpkins and leaves, and that's what I'm going to add to the cup. I honestly feel like, I mean, I use this vinyl, this as in, you know, what I previously had, the Cricut one. I use it all year round because I just love the color so much, but I feel like it is perfect. Honestly, I feel like it was made for fall. It is so, so perfect for this season. Okay, awesome. Yay. Now let's see how it transfers. Let me first bring in the Cricut one. Guys, look, this is the Cricut one, and this is the Tech Wrap. I can't see a difference at all. There is no way I would have known. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna start transferring the design, and this is gonna be the true test. Okay, I'm just gonna do it one by one. That's just how I prefer to work on designs like these. So I'm first going to grab just one of the pumpkins. All right, so far so good. That was awesome. Okay, I'm just going to randomly place them all around. So let's do, I'm gonna grab a couple leaves at a time. How about one right here? Maybe one right here. I'll have one all the way, no, let's put it here. All right, you guys, so far, I am so, so happy. Why didn't I know that this vinyl existed sooner? I should have done my research, and I should have thought of this a long time ago instead of suffering through the other one. Okay. Perfect. And let's do one leaf right here. And then maybe one pumpkin all the way up here. I think I want to do one more pumpkin and then a few leaves, and that's it. And then I'm gonna save the rest. For another cup. Yeah, one right here. And then I want to fill in the area with some more leaves. Okay. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna stop at that. Oh my gosh, look. Isn't it so pretty? I feel like this is so perfect for fall. I love it. Let me show you a close-up of the gold. I still can't believe it. Look, look, this is the Cricut one. Look. Oh my gosh. It's literally, it's identical. But it really, honestly, weeded so much easier and it transferred like butter. I'm so happy with this. Yay. I wonder if I should engrave something on the lid. I think that would look really nice. If you haven't already, go watch the laser video I did where I engrave on these bamboo lids. It turned out so nice. I'll have it on the screen right here if you want to check it out. All right, let's move on to the last one. All right, for my last craft, I want to work on something for my kids' teachers. And I recently discovered that our local library has a sublimation printer. They have a Sawgrass, and I didn't even know that I could go print and work on projects over there. You just have to pay for the material that you use. But I finally got to do some of these jumbo acrylic bookmarks. And oh my gosh, I am in love. I really wanted to test it out first because I don't have a sublimation printer. And first of all, I wanted to see how bad the smell was and if it's something that was bearable for me to, you know, be able to do projects like these at home. And I also wanted to test it out before I went and bought, you know, a $400, $500 printer. So I love how these turned out. I love the results. I did an apple one, and then this is just kind of like a pencil pattern, and then a honeycomb. Isn't this cute? And some cherries on a really cute background. I'll have all these patterns linked in the description box if you like them. But what I wanted to do is I had my Cricut cut out. I just created like holders for them. I used 110-pound cardstock, and I had my Cricut cut these small sheets, which I'm going to use as holders. And I didn't really need to go, I think they might be a little too big, but it's fine. I know I shouldn't have used this mat for paper, but my other one is not sticky at all. And this one is kind of losing its stickiness, so I figured it would be okay. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have used my green mat for a paper craft. Okay, I'll clean that off later. So basically these are going to, and I'll put them under a book or something because they're kind of bending. These are going to serve as holders for the acrylic bookmarks. Now looking at them, I could have easily made this smaller and this, you know, could have been lower. Or actually, you know what? I could probably trim this top part altogether because I don't really need that. And then the design would still fit. Yeah, let me test it out on one of them. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Just bringing in my mini paper trimmer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't even really need my Cricut. I just thought this would make it look, I don't know, more professional. But, let's see. Okay, you know what? I have an idea. I am going to place the design on all 4 of them. I won't trim any of these. I'm going to wait and see what you guys think. So I'm going to place the design just as I planned on the back of all of these. And I'm going to wait and see because it doesn't matter. Even if you guys say no, trim all of them, it won't affect the design at all. So I won't do anything to these. You guys let me know if I should trim it and make it pretty much look like this or leave it as is. So let me bring in the design. And what I decided to do is I just wrote down best teacher ever in this really, really cute font. I felt like it was so perfect for a teacher. Oh my gosh, teachers always have the best handwriting. That's something I really wish I had worked on when I was younger. I wish it was more encouraged in my school, because I really don't like my handwriting. And I mean, I know it's not too late, but I don't even know how I would work on fixing it and making it better, you know? If any of you are teachers and have advice, let me know. I just, I don't know. It's not super messy handwriting, but I just feel like it's, how can I say it? You know how, for example, teachers, their C always looks exactly the same. The R, you know, all the letters are very consistent. Like it looks so perfect. I don't have that. Mine is not like that. Like sometimes my R looks really nice and sometimes it looks really weird. So yeah, that's my random story for today. I did foil iron on. So I'm going to be using my Cricut Easy Press Mini to transfer these onto the cardstock, which if you didn't already know this, you can absolutely use iron-on cardstock. Just make sure, preferably heavier cardstock, you know, for it to be able to take that heat. And then also just use some type of either parchment paper or something to protect the surface. And I'll show you what I mean. I actually did 4. Where is the 4th one? Okay. All right. I used scrap vinyl for the 4th one. So it's so perfect. I love when I actually use my scrap vinyl because I feel like it can easily just sit in the drawer or, you know, in the folder where I have my scraps, and it can just stay there for months or years. And it's like, okay, why? I was saving this to actually use it. Why did I forget about it? You know? Are you the same way, or are you really good about using your scraps? I sometimes just completely forget. I should probably make a video where I'm only using scrap vinyl. That would be nice. Okay, let me turn on my Easy Press. I'm going to do low. Okay, bringing in my Cricut mat. This is ready. So I'm just going to very lightly add some heat to get the area ready. Okay, let me actually move 2 of these out of the way. I like working with iron-on because of the sticky carrier sheet, and it helps me, you know, line up the design before I'm ready to commit. So I really like that. Okay, that looks perfect. So I'm just gonna make sure it's on there, and then I'm going to bring in parchment paper to make sure it's completely protected. And I'm gonna let it cool down while I work on the second one because it's a cold peel. All right, setting that aside, bringing in number 2. And if you're wondering what this small square was when I was initially weeding this out, that was just a test cut. I forgot what settings I usually do for iron-on, so I was testing it out. Right, looks perfect. All right, let's see if this is ready. Oh my gosh, turned out perfect. Look at that. I love working with foil iron-on because you see the effect of the foil so clearly, and you don't have to go through the hassle of working with the foil kit that Cricut sells. I feel like that one is never, I don't know, that one just never turns out great. Okay, let's look at the second one. Perfect. I love how that looks. Here, I was thinking this can either be front or back, but probably on the front, even though she won't be able to see what it says right away, but when she takes it out, she'll see, because now it just says best ache ever. All right, that turned out really nice. Let's do the last two. Okay, and again, let me know if I should just trim this off. I don't know. I was thinking it would look fancier, but now I'm like, I probably don't really need it, right? Let me know, guys. By the time this video comes out, there will still be time for me to trim it. You know, it won't be too late. So let me know. I trust you guys. And also I appreciate you all for always being so kind. All right. Let that cool down. I can't remember if I said this already, but if I have not, I'll have the font information linked in the description box if you want to download the font if you like it. Oh my gosh, I love it. It turns out so nice. All right, last but not least, look at that. It never gets old. I love it. And then let's make sure they're all on here. Oh my gosh, I love how these turned out. I think it's really funny that you can't see all the text, but again, she's definitely gonna take it out and she'll be able to see what it says. All right, let me bring in all the projects. All right, this is today's lineup. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. Honestly, I had a blast working on all of them. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. If you made it till the end, leave a pumpkin emoji. I'm so excited for fall crafts and for Christmas. I have so many fun things. You guys don't want to miss it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of them. I appreciate all of you so much, and I'll see you all in next week's video. Bye!